my back blown out in peace. You think I got time to talk about a divorce that's a year old?
She always thought home was the one place she could breathe. After everything she'd been through, love, heartbreak, fame, betrayal, her home was her safe space. It was where she sang in the kitchen without makeup on, where she laid next to her daughter and forgot about the world. It was where she healed, where she cried in silence, where she reminded herself that no matter how loud the world got outside, in here, she had peace. But even that was taken from her. It started small. So small, she thought maybe she was overthinking. Teyana had always been strong, but lately her instincts had been on edge. She felt like someone was always watching. Not just the feeling you get when you're famous and eyes are always on you, but something different. It started when a Bluetooth speaker in her living room lit up on its own. She wasn't playing music. No one else was home. At first, she thought maybe her daughter accidentally clicked something on the iPad. But then it happened again. And again. One night, she heard a clicking sound coming from the hallway, so soft she almost ignored it. But when she turned the corner, there was nothing. No one. The lights flickered just once, and then everything went back to normal. She brushed it off. Maybe she was stressed. Maybe all the drama with Aaron had gotten into her head. But her intuition didn't lie. She started noticing things out of place. Her favorite earrings moved from the bathroom counter to the hallway table. A bedroom drawer she always kept closed was cracked open. A scent, his scent, lingering faintly in a room he hadn't been in for weeks. She started locking her bedroom door at night. Then she started checking the baby monitor twice before sleeping. But still, something didn't feel right. It wasn't until a friend came over, one who worked in tech, that things started to unravel. They were sitting on the couch when he noticed a tiny, almost invisible, blinking near the ceiling vent. He got up, stared at it for a long time, then said quietly, "Do you have cameras in here?" Teyana froze. "Only in the front yard," she replied. He didn't say anything, just pulled out his phone flashlight, climbed up, and within seconds, pulled out a tiny device. Smaller than a pen cap. It was a hidden camera. Teyana didn't scream. She didn't cry. She just stared at it, like her entire world had just twisted in 1 second. Her heart started racing. Her palms went cold. All she could think about was, how long has that been there? The friend immediately suggested doing a sweep of the house. They searched the living room, bedroom, even the hallway near her daughter's room. By the end of the night, they had found 3 more small devices, hidden so discreetly behind objects, no one would have noticed them unless they were looking. Teyana sat down silent, shaking. Her daughter was asleep in the next room, completely unaware that the place they called home had been compromised. She called security the next morning. Then a private cybersecurity team. No cops yet. Not until she was sure. They ran tests, looked into the IP addresses, and after hours of digging, they confirmed the devices had been active. They weren't just sitting there. They'd been recording. One was even linked to a remote cloud storage. But what chilled Teyana the most was when the technician asked, "Do you know anyone who used the alias AP Films backup?" Her blood ran cold. AP Films. That's what Aaron had once named his old side project when they first got together. Aaron Pierre Films. A little creative thing he used to joke about. A moniker only he ever used. It was unmistakable. The dots started connecting. The arguments about privacy. The way he'd always asked why she locked her door when they weren't on good terms. The weird way he sometimes responded to things before she even told him. The time he made a comment about a call she took in private, one she was sure he hadn't heard. Now she knew. She didn't say anything for 2 days. She needed to breathe. She stayed in a hotel, left her house completely, took her daughter with her, and left her assistant to grab essentials. She didn't tell anyone where she was, not even her mom. She needed time to process. Because the idea that the man she once trusted, once loved, once held in her bed, could have been secretly watching her inside her own home, that was a different kind of heartbreak. And then it leaked. A small blog posted an article. Sources say Teyana Taylor found spy devices in home, connected to ex Aaron Pierre. At first, people thought it was clickbait, but the story had details, real ones. Things no one could have guessed unless someone inside her circle said something. Maybe someone from the tech team. Maybe someone from the label. Either way, it was out. And it spread fast. By that evening, her name was trending. Hashtags like #ProtectTeyana and #CreepyErin were everywhere. Fan pages reposted old clips of Erin filming her unexpectedly during their relationship. Clips that seemed harmless before, now viewed in a completely different light. One video showed him catching her singing in her robe, joking, "Caught you slippin'." But now fans were asking, was it ever just a joke? Erin stayed silent for 2 days, then posted a vague quote on Instagram. "Be careful what you believe. Truth always comes out."
No denial. No apology.
Just passive ambiguity. It infuriated people, because by then more details had leaked. Teyana had allegedly filed a police report. Her lawyers were preparing a possible civil suit. Her home had been completely cleared of any tech linked to outside servers. She'd switched phones, upgraded all her passwords, and most heartbreakingly, moved her daughter to stay with her family until the house felt safe again. People were disgusted. Comment sections turned into war zones. "This is next level sick," one person wrote. "She gave you everything and you invaded the only thing she had left, her privacy." Others pointed out how common this kind of digital surveillance was becoming, especially in toxic relationships. "If it can happen to Teyana," one tweet read, "it can happen to anyone." Celebrities began showing support. One R&B singer tweeted, "This ain't entertainment. This is trauma. Y'all better protect her." A famous actress commented on a blog post, "We've watched this girl stay strong through so much. This crosses the line." But what hurt most wasn't the invasion, it was the betrayal. Because this wasn't someone she barely knew. This was a man who held her when she cried, who played with her daughter, who once told her, "You're safe with me." Now, she couldn't close her eyes without wondering if he ever meant a single word. The worst part, this wasn't just about her. Teyana kept thinking about her little girl. How many moments were recorded? Did Erin ever access footage of her dancing around in pajamas? Did he listen to bedtime stories? Did he hear Teyana's private talks on motherhood, career, her own fears and doubts? It wasn't just a violation of space, it was a violation of soul. A few days later, a new clip went viral. Teyana in her car, pulling into a driveway. Paparazzi tried shouting questions. She didn't respond. But in the clip, you can hear a fan yell, "We love you." And Teyana, still wearing sunglasses, rolls her window down just enough to whisper, "Thank you." That one word carried the weight of everything. A few days later, a close friend posted a photo of Teyana in the studio. She had her headphones on, eyes gently closed, completely lost in the moment. There was no caption, just a single black heart emoji. But the message couldn't have been louder. She wasn't retreating. She wasn't hiding. She was transforming the pain,
Channeling it.
creating something from it. That's who Teyana was. Not a scandal, not a victim, not a footnote in someone else's story. She was an artist, reclaiming her narrative in the only way she knew how, through her art. Still, everyone knew she was healing. That kind of betrayal doesn't just disappear overnight. Behind the creative strength was a woman still piecing herself back together. Quietly, powerfully, on her own terms. And Erin? He tried to pretend nothing had changed. Announced a surprise live Q&A on social media, maybe hoping to shift the conversation or control the damage. But the audience didn't play along. The moment he went live, the comments exploded. "Did you really put cameras in our house? Are you watching this right now too? How twisted are you?" The questions kept coming, each one sharper than the last. Within minutes, Erin ended the live.
No wolvidé. No explanations.
He deleted the replay too, like he wished he could erase the whole thing. Later that day, his rep released a carefully worded statement. Erin has never and would never violate anyone's privacy. Any claims suggesting otherwise are completely false. But by then, the public had already decided. The court of public opinion had held its trial, and it had delivered a verdict. What made things worse was what came next. A new source emerged, and this one hit harder. An ex-girlfriend, speaking anonymously to a popular blog, claimed that this wasn't new behavior. She said that, even years ago, she had felt monitored. That Aaron always seemed to know things she hadn't told him. At the time, she brushed it off, thought maybe he was just attentive or overly interested. But now, looking back, it all clicked into place. The signs were there. She just hadn't seen them for what they really were. Teyana was using her voice to process the pain. Aaron, on the other hand, was being swallowed by the weight of his own choices. And the world was watching, no longer blindly. Teyana stayed quiet. She didn't need to respond. The truth was loud enough. But her silence wasn't weakness. It was strength. And people saw that. Women everywhere began sharing their own stories. Of exes who controlled their social media, who tracked their locations, who listened through smart devices. Teyana's story had opened a bigger conversation, and she didn't even have to speak. Eventually, a new headline broke. Restraining order filed against Aaron Pierre. Court documents cite privacy invasion. No details, but it was enough to let people know she was taking back control. Because at the end of the day, this wasn't just about cameras. It was about a woman reclaiming her safety, her peace, her right to exist without being watched. About a mother protecting her child. About an artist refusing to be turned into someone else's silent footage. Aaron may have installed cameras, but Teyana turned the lens around. And this time, the story was hers.